There are a lot of people who had commented on my opinion I expressed as a black man, as an African, as a Nigerian, and a citizen of the world on the gross madness and lunacy exhibited by Donald Trump of the United States of America. The leader of the United States of America regime, imperialist regime. I did not expect to banter words with pseudo-intellectuals who parade toilet papers as testament or testimonial for wisdom and knowledge is unfortunate. Most of these people parade these PhDs as ego clutches because they are so small that they needed something to prop them up. They are nobodies. So they needed something to prop them up so that they can come up PhDs. These pseudo-intellectuals, they don't contribute anything other than talk, and criticism. They cannot in any way go into proper mental exercise for the good of their immediate environment, their community, or the country at large. There's one fellow who calls himself Charles Akpoti, the PhD doctor, and he talk rots. And I on 2 occasions, I've gone to read the comment, and I see the sadness that has plagued Nigeria, the disaster that has befallen Nigeria. People who say they're educated. And what is this education? What is their contribution to humanity? What is their contribution to intellectual development, literacy, our economy, technology, science? In those days when you are talking about intellectuals, you can look at Professor Wole Soyinka. He did not need to parade a PhD before you will know that Wole Soyinka is an intellectual. Chino Achebe, Cyprian Nekensi, Captain Elechi Amadi, Professor Pepe Clark, or Professor Wojabi, or Professor DK, Professor Lagwa, Professor Tamun, even my brother, wristwatch and cup of tea, my first cousin, Professor Tam de West. These are people when they write, you can see that they exhibit qualities that are rarely seen. But these motopacked out PhDs, they come up. A man, somebody, a president, I've listened to foreigners, Americans, Africans, and others commenting on this Nigerian issue, and you see them, the way they talk. America does not have any moral right to dictate to any country in the world. These countries are sovereign countries. But this neo-colonialist leper, this imperialist bootlicker, can't see, who is Donald Trump? Who the shit is Donald Trump? Who the shit is Donald Trump? Donald Trump came, called African countries shithole countries. And this thing, this motopark PhD, is happy that his fellow human being calls his own country, calls his own his own continent, a shithole continent. He's happy. I was just listening to a Ugandan talking on this issue. I was just listening to a Ugandan talking on this issue. And he was so articulate. I listened to Oblong talking on this issue. He was so articulate. I listened to the other Ghanaian talking on this issue. He was articulate. All of them. Garuba, you are sick. Your country is a disgraced country. You people really need to be tutored. You don't have any pride whatsoever. No self-esteem whatsoever. No character whatsoever. No, my beard, it was a mistake. These are foreign barbers. They are not used to trimming beards and so on. So they made a mistake. Even last time I was there, they made a mistake. His organ failure for a particular set of people. This is the level of debasement of our educational this thing. That's what we have. The level of debasement of the standard of our education, our educational institution. You have organ failure. So is organ failure an abuse? If you tell somebody he has an organ failure, so he has is an abuse, an insult, is it? Do you know how many Nigerians are going to India? How many Nigerians are going to India because of organ problem? How many Nigerians are going to Egypt for organ problem? How many Nigerians are going to Turkey for organ something? Or the very rich ones that have gone to UK, Germany, and so on and so forth. So this is the level. This is what we call education. People are just having pieces of paper, they flaunt it, they go to this way, they throw it around. They are not employable, they cannot work. It is not people like Dr. Asari that works at an NPC. It is not people like Dr. Asari that works at CBN. It is not people like Dr. Asari that works at the Ministry of Power. It is those of you with these dirty pieces of toilet paper, trash, that says you have this, you work in these places, and what is the result? What is the result? The failure that we have. That's the failure that we have. Come to my own small community. I've never held a government appointment. Come to my community. I've never been a councillor. I've never been a local government chairman. I've never been a commissioner. I've never been a House of Assembly member. I've never been a deputy governor. I've never been a governor. I've never been a member of House of Rep. I've never been a member of any of these things. But come to my place. I don't know where you talk about feeling the pain of Northern Christians. I lived in Borno. I stayed at Gamboru Ingala. I stayed at Maduguri. 99%, 100% of my relations from River State and other part of Ijaw that were living in were Christian. Apart from Barrister Ibrahim Mark, who was practicing in Maduguri then, there was nobody from my area who was a Muslim. So I traversed custom market everywhere. All the people that I meet are all Christians. I never met any Christian that had problem. All the period I stayed in Borno State. Some of my relations were even pastors. I was going from the house of one relation to another, eating from the house of one relation to another. Because my friend Abubakar Imam, who was the registrar of the Sharia Court of Appeal, and who later became Grand Qadi. The food they cook is not the type of, so most time I go out, I eat among them. I never saw one Christian molested all the days that I was there. All the years that I was there learning Islam. So, Ahmed Idris Tinta, Ahmed Tinta, Sas, all these people, they know me personally. I'm not just an ordinary figure, they know me personally. Sheikh Al-Miskin, Sharif Hussein, Sheikh Abdul Fati. Every one of them knows me. I go to Goza. I go to all these places. Not one person. I did not. In every house I go to, when I go to all these other places, all these people, apart from maybe among the Chuara, these other people, in all their houses, Christians and Muslims interact freely. So, I did not see. Even Yusuf, he was at Indimi Mosque in GRA. He was a teacher. He was a madrasa teacher at Indimi Mosque. We used to argue on Hadith. We used to argue on Salafism, Al-Sunnah. We used to argue. Saudi Arabian people who want to go to the University of Medina, they come. That is the center for this thing, where they carry out their interviews, where they screen them for the scholarships. Yusuf, the leader of what became Boko Haram, at that time he was an Izala. That was the center of Izala activity in this thing. Abubakar Imam that I stay with is a Torika. Even though I don't do Torika, I sit with him, we talk together, we do everything together. I live in his house. For a northerner to allow, my room was next to his room. Every morning I enter the car, I go to his office with him, I sit until he closes. When he's coming back, I enter the car with him and I come back. I go to the palace of the Chewu, I go everywhere. Everybody knows me in Borno. In Maduguri, all the big people. All the big people. And when Boko Haram started, I was one of the persons who saw this danger. I wrote so many things. I did so many videos that this is a dangerous step they are taking. You don't need to antagonize. If Yusuf was not killed, Boko Haram would not have reached where it was. I was in detention with most of them. With Nure, with Hassan, with Adams. I was in detention with them. DSS underground, detention with them. I was in my solitary confinement. But because I was a person that was not bound by any law, I used to bang, I used to talk, I used to call prayer, and we communicate. And I want. So when you see people like this glorifying a neo-colonialist, a white supremacist, Donald Trump is this, Donald Trump is that. Wow. And he said he has PhD. Shame. I don't know where you got your PhD from. I don't know where you got. Dixon, this one is not my look. Oh. God Almighty. This look is 419. It's not my look. My trademark look is with my beard. I've kept it for years. My beard used to be up to like this. When I was in Madikri, my beard was like this. They call me Malangemu. Me Labaika. When I go to Saudi Arabia, I used to be Me Labaika. I used to lead people to go and do the Tawaf, do the Safa and Marwa, and then they pay me for it. All the Fulani people, they contribute money to I stand in front of them, Labaika, La Labaika.